Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pick and Roll, the NBA betting show, live every weekday morning right here on the Board YouTube channel. And we're back after 6 straight profitable days on the show. You guys been tailing the picks. You've been cashing in over the last 6 shows on either side of the NBA All-Star break. But nonetheless, we're having success here in the month of February. Let's try and keep it going today as well. There's 2 free picks on the way and a bonus big SGP if we can hit 50 plus likes on the stream today. We got one loaded up, waiting to go here at the end of the show if we can hit that milestone. So again, if you have been enjoying the picks, enjoying the show, make sure you do hit the like button to support the channel. And for weekday shows like this, every weekday morning, 9:45 a.m. Eastern time or so, make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. All right, let's do this and get into the plays for today. Just double checking in on all of the odds to make sure everything is ready to go. And I think that we are in position here to give out the plays here. So for the first bet, we are going to be going to Caesars Sportsbook for a player prop. We have on a just straight up player prop. First of all, we're going to Jalen Brunson on an under 31.5 points. You can get this for minus 111. Again, at Caesars, as the New York Knicks host the New Orleans Pelicans. In our second play, we are going to be going to the Boston Celtics as they host the 76ers for an SGP here. We're going to be taking Tobias Harris. Once again, we're going under 18.5 points, but we're going to pair that with Kristaps Porzingis, 15 plus points, and we can get that for minus 115. If you have access to ESPN Bet, you can also play this over there for a slightly better price on this one, but we'll play it at the widely available option, which is DraftKings. All right, let's hand it over to Pips the first time today. Go back to that first play here and talk about Jalen Brunson against the Pelicans.
So for Brunson, back-to-back game after huge minutes last night against the Detroit Pistons. He scored 35 against the worst defense in the league. So now, in back-to-back, after huge minutes, he's going back against the best defense of pick and roll ball handler. And let's just show up how huge correlation for Jalen Brunson. This is Jalen Brunson against top 18 pick and roll ball handler defense. As we can see, he's under in 20 out of 23. And first on the graph shows a game against the Pelicans and the game where he scored only 14 points. He averaged only 23.6 points against teams above average in pick and roll ball handling defense. And Pelicans are number one pick and roll ball handling defense, the best pick and roll ball handling defense in the league. Second part of this is just showing how huge correlation for Brunson is. So this is Brunson below average pick and roll defense, and he is over 59% of the time and average 32.6 points a game, which is 9 points difference, 9-point difference on average against good and bad pick and roll defenses. So one of the highest correlations in the entire league. So we can go up to the next one for Jalen Brunson. This is Jalen Brunson play types and defense of Pelicans. He's shooting 50% of his shot from the mid-range. As we can see, Pelicans are third and sixth lowest allowed mid-range shots, short mid-range and long mid-range shots in the league. So also difficult matchup. And as we can see below, they are number one pick and roll ball handler defense. On top of that, he'll getting Herb Jones cover probably. So that's one of the most difficult in the leagues. And I expect double teams thrown at him whenever he tries to run a pick and roll. And he scores 35% of his points in pick and rolls. Even other spots like free throws, he is scoring 70%. They are average there. Spot up, he won't have much spot up opportunities without Randall. He's heavy on ball. So yeah, isolation and handoffs also won't work. So great spot to bet under Brunson in difficult matchup on a back-to-back game.
All right, so there we have it. Lots of info in regards to Jalen Brunson under 31.5 points, but a compelling case to go with the under today. And unders, as we said in yesterday's show, have done very, very well on the show this season. Hoping to keep that going with this first play, but also half of this second play here, which is in that Sixers and Celtics game. As I said earlier, it is Tobias Harris under 18.5 points. and Kristaps Porzingis 15 plus points. Minus 115 at DraftKings, but again, a little bit better at ESPN Bet that's available in your region. But Pips, talk to us about the matchup here and why you like both of these parts of the SGP.
And Tobias Harris is not performing well over the last couple of games. He has six straight unders, even though it's like not that great, not that difficult of a matchups against Dallas Mavericks, against Golden State Warriors, against Wizards, against Bucks. All four were way better matchups than the one tonight against the Boston Celtics, and he averaged only 18.8 points. Yeah, he's struggling, and since return from the injury, 7, 15, and 8, he looked terrible against the Knicks and the Bucks, and not great even against the Cavs. Maybe he scored 15. So yeah, against the Boston Celtics, high probability of a blowout, difficult cover. Yeah, I expect this to be another struggling game for Tobias Harris. And part on the Kristaps Porzingis, as you showed on the graphics, last 26 games, 24 overs, average 22.4 points. I'll probably bet it straight on over 19 and a half, but I think it's a highly probability of a blowout here, so I'm going with safe option. That's 15 plus. Embiid is out, and Reed can hold his own against the Kristaps Porzingis. Nurse will probably put a lot of pressure on Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, which will open up some spots for Kristaps Porzingis. And Kristaps Porzingis is left alone against the Reeds inside, like no chance where it can stop him. And yeah, I just expect big game for Kristaps Porzingis. He's usually playing big minutes first and third quarter, so even if it's a blowout, he should still be up to like 28 minutes, which should be enough to cover 15 plus points here.
And you have the last 26 games where he's hit 24 times here in the graph. And that the two that he didn't hit, it looks like they were 14-point games. So
Yeah,
he's either right there or he's
and
going over the line.
that's even without any filters like for defenses and
Yeah.
like that's well, every game. This is a very positive matchup. Yeah, because if you look like any similar type of player against shooting big against the Spurs, 76ers did great. Turner, Wembanyama, Towns, Holmgren all hit like almost season highs against them, and even Porzingis himself had 29 points even when Embiid was playing.
So as I said, we have a big SGP bonus play waiting in the background. If we can get to 50 likes on the show today, we will add that on to the bet for today on the show. We're 11 likes away from that point. So let's get up to that number. We got a little bit more time to get there as well. So if you haven't liked yet, make sure you do so. Let's go to the recap of the previous day's plays here as I pull it up. And it was another winning day on the show. Sweat free as well. We took some lower lines for the players or some higher lines in one respect, but it was a winning day. Sabonis goes well under his 21.5 point line that we had. Keegan Murray goes well over his 10+ point line. He ends with 28 in this one. So a win. Yeah, feels like maybe could have even done more with this one, but a win is a win. That makes it 6 straight profitable days on the show. Yeah, Pips, what's been clicking in the last little period for yourself betting wise?
Yeah, I'm just moving more to the under side. We are betting unders. Unders are doing great. Even like we are doing way better now, but overs are still doing kind of same. Somewhere in like 55% of the range. So yeah, obviously finding a good under is much more difficult because there are not stats that supports unders. There are not many stats, so you need to count on blowouts, you need to count on injury, possible foul trouble, poor shooting night. So when we find a good bet, it usually works great. So lately it's been going well.
So I didn't know this. This game was too late for my taste, but Sabonis had 12 at the half, on pace for 24. I think he ended with 14, so I'm not sure what went down in the
Yeah.
second half. What was the
Yeah.
difference in defense?
Last time we bet Sabonis, he had like 6 points in the first half, so he was on pace for 12 points and ended up with 19 and leading us with a hook. So like that's tough on pace. Like he hit three to start the game, and then obviously like that's not sustainable for the rest of the game. So yeah, I mean, looking at it like this is not the right approach to look stuff. Like he made some difficult shots and some lucky bounces early in the game, so that's not sustainable for the rest of the game. I wasn't that much worried even at the halftime because the defense was they played good defense on him, and it was just like waiting for him to miss some shots. And he did in the second half, and that's it. Yeah.
And we have 4 likes to go for the 50 plus. We're talking about the Sacramento Kings here because it was they were a feature on the bet. Kind of want to gauge your opinions on the Kings. They were so successful in the regular season last season in a difficult Western Conference, finishing as a 3 seed. Got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. This year, still a good record, 33-24, right in the mix to be a top 5 seed in the West. Doesn't look like realistically a home playoff seed is attainable this season, but do you think that this Kings team is still on the rise? Like, where do you think is the max that this core can produce with Sabonis, Fox, Murray, and the others around it?
Yeah, they are. Problem with them is they are not deep enough for the playoff run. Like Sabonis, Fox, and you never know what you're gonna get from Huerter, Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, and Malik Monk. So when teams are doing great against Sabonis and Fox, like Miami usually does, like who great against ball handlers, great against the bigs, they are like waiting for guys like Harrison Barnes, Huerter, Murray to like take over the game. And Keegan Murray did. Huerter, Barnes, and Monk had poor game, so no one like, yeah, it's difficult. Like when you limit their pick and roll the game, it's very they are beatable. Like you just limit their two like their pick and roll game is like the best part of it. Like they have Sabonis and Fox 1 and 5. If you just crowd inside and let other guys shoot, you can win against them, a game against them. Even though like Keegan Murray, unbelievable games in the first game against the Miami and in the second game against the Miami, they were flat short because their best players were limited. So yeah, I think they miss some depth in their squad because like as I said, Barnes is not a third guy. Huerter is not. He's so much hot and cold. Keegan Murray is terrible away, great at home. They won't have home court advantage in the playoffs. Yeah, I just think they are not deep enough to make a big run. Like they don't have great third player, great fourth player. So yeah, I think that's the issue there. Like
Well, I guess we'll have to see if they can keep building on this current team, but it'll be
yeah,
difficult to do so without a lot of free agency pull, maybe draft picks if they want to make a big splash, which I guess they're fully capable of doing. So
yeah.
that'll be
I
the
think
difference there.
they're top. Like they have like Fox, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, and Monk as a six man of the bench, but Huerter and Barnes they make improvements there.
Yeah, agreed. They could probably package Barnes with some
Yeah.
picks and move off of that. Maybe get like a key like fourth player to that team. But I think current state, yeah, it's fun for the Kings. I mean, they haven't been a winning team for like my entire life, and now they had like 2 very good seasons in a row. It looks like,
Their
but
bench is like Trey Lyles, Chris Duarte, and Davion Mitchell. Like
yeah,
that's
they
not it.
need to just continue to upgrade. But I wonder if they'll try to capitalize on this core and make that big splash. I think it would be in their best interest to do so and just kind of keep the team at that high level. But I think we're at 49 likes here. I think
One
we've had
more.
enough unfortunate hooks in the show this season that I'll say let's make this one a positive one and say let's just go into the big SGP here. If you haven't liked yet, make sure you do so. If you're watching back later on, you can still like the stream because it helps us out with our future content and getting it out to more people, especially if you're telling the plays. That absolutely deserves a like. Pips puts in a lot of hard work behind the scenes to get these plays out. Let's get into the play that we have here. It is in the Jazz and the Hawks game and go to our 0.75 unit big SGP. So sometimes we go with the half unit. Today, it's not as big as it has been on other days. So it's going to be 0.75 units. Obviously, play whatever you want to play, but this is what we recommend. Plus 210 at
Okay.
BetMGM to get John Collins 12 plus points, not 21 plus points. I'll fix that.
Yeah.
My goodness, if it was John Collins 21 plus points, it'd be a lot bigger than just a simple plus 210. Also featuring in this play, along with a John Collins 12 plus, is Colin Sexton 15 plus points, Bogdan Bogdanovic 15 plus points, and DeJounte Murray over 6.5 assists. So I'll fix the graphic here. But what are you seeing in this matchup between the Jazz and the Hawks that makes you like this one today?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great matchup for both. High-paced, poor defense, both sides. This could be something like a 250-point game. I'll start with the Hawks. Trae Young is out. DeJounte Murray over this average 9 assists a game without Trae Young, 16 potential assist average over these games, and now gets the best matchup in the league for the assists. Utah Jazz allowed the most assists to opposing point guards over the last 30 games. We had Steph Curry over air rebounds and assists, and he cleared an assist alone, if you remember, against the Jazz. So we are going to DeJounte Murray. Jazz are allowing the second most threes in the entire league. So Bojan Bogdanovic now getting the prime spot, the starting spot over Trae Young, and without Trae Young. He cleared this line in every game without Trae Young, and now gets the best matchup possible there against the team that allow a lot of spot up and a lot of threes. He's cooking the entire season, so he'll continue best shooter on the in the game. Now going to the Utah Jazz, we have John Collins. First game back against the Hawks after a trade, after spending whole career time. He spoke about press conference. He's more than ready for this game. His type of players did great in the entire season against the Hawks, poor defense, and this is probably the best possible play types we ever seen this season for a player. He scores mostly via spot up, pick and roll man transition, and putbacks. Hawks are ranked bottom five in all four of these, so insane matchup. And he scores 51% of the points at the rim as a bonus, and Hawks are second worst rim defense. So yeah, all around great matchup for Collins. And Sexton part of this is he is insane. Like his form is not stopping. He is just continuing scoring insanely. So over the last 2 months, I think he covered this line like 95% of the games. Like there, like over the last 23 games, he covered it in 21 out of the 23, and one came at the 14 points, which is insane. Average 22 points, and now gets the prime time matchup against the Hawks. High-paced, poor rim defense, and he's mainly a driver and getting to the free throw line and scoring inside. So yeah, I love it for like I couldn't decide from any of these players to go for a single bet, so I could created a big SGP because everything makes sense. I even made bigger 0.75 units in this because I think this is one of the best same game parlays we had so far this season.
So you never know when a big SGP will turn up on the show. I mean, usually Pips doesn't even know when it'll turn up until he's looking for bets and finds one right before the show. So the best way to stay updated on this sort of thing is to have notifications on and check out all the episodes, or follow us on Twitter at the Board HQ. I'll make mention of a big SGP and if it's coming on Twitter when the show does go live. Question for more so for myself here, actually, more than anything. I'm kind of curious about DeJounte Murray. I know you don't like him as a player. I don't really particularly like him either as a player. However, how do you think his role is going to change for the Hawks with Trae Young out for a month or so? And do you think this is going to benefit Murray playing in a different role, perhaps?
Yeah, I can go on a rant here because a couple of days ago, some profiles on Twitter with like 100,000 followers, 100K followers that are cappers were debating me saying DeJounte Murray is better than Trae Young, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Like DeJounte Murray is one of the most overrated players in the league, putting up empty stats, not playing defense whatsoever. I tagged you in that one of the
Yep.
craziest stuff you ever seen. Like went from a all NBA defensive player 4 years ago to the one of the worst guard defensive players in the league. Very negative on defense because he gambles a lot. So overall, I don't like DeJounte Murray. I think everyone knows that. I think He is very inefficient, big number guy. His assists are even inefficient because he doesn't create much. Like shot quality he creates on his assist is like similar to pull-up shooting and nothing compared to Trae Young. So efficiency not compared to Trae Young, shot creation, playmaking, nothing is compared to Trae Young. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how Hawks function going forward. They finally have Hunter back, so now they can have some size on the wings to some defense. But Capella is coming back from the injury, or Kongu is out. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Hawks look going forward. But Dejounte Murray will put some big numbers like he always does, while not contributing much to a winning. So we'll see.
Yeah, if you I guess if you haven't watched Murray in a while, or you're just kind of remembering his San Antonio Spurs day, he is the classic kind of living off reputation player. Not as much anymore. People are starting to clue in here, and it's becoming more apparent and well known that Murray is no longer a good defender. But yeah, he's still kind of living off of that reputation from the Spurs days as this elite defender. He's just simply not that anymore. And as you said, he doesn't contribute to winning basketball, really. I don't know if it was quite like empty stats when he was on the Spurs. I mean, maybe it's a bit easier to put your numbers up on a not so great team, but he was genuinely a good player on the Spurs for a while. Not enough for the Hawks to have
I
given
would
away
say
what they did, but he's not the same player.
I would say on Spurs, yeah, he was better on defense, but his rebounding and assisting was all still mostly empty stats. His scoring was empty stats because he put good number, like 20 points a game, but it's on like 52, 53% true shooting, which is way below league average. He doesn't get to the line. He doesn't shoot a good volume on threes, and he's just shooting contested mid-range shots for almost half of his career. You don't want that shot, and he can't create anything because people don't respect him. Like if you look at the Hawks with Trae Young getting double team, blitz, the trapped, opening up for everything for everyone else. And when you have Dejounte Murray, teams are like gladly willing to take him shooting. Like they are not bothered by him 1%. Never seen anyone double team or blitz Dejounte Murray in the entire career. So yeah, completely like
Yeah.
I don't like Dejounte Murray at
The
all. So
Raptors played against the Hawks recently, and basically, if Murray was open, it was just like, go ahead, go ahead, dude, go ahead and shoot it if you want. We're not really worried about that. Um,
yeah, he had. Someone said that's the part of the debate. He's improved 3 point shooter. Yeah, he is because he's playing next to Trae Young,
and
and he
he's
gets
yeah, he's
wide
wide
open,
open.
left open, in every possession almost. So yeah, he sucks. He was 0 from 4 in the game against the Raptors, and he
Yeah.
was left wide open almost every possession. Insane.
Well, trouble with Atlanta. We'll see how they mitigate the storm without Trae Young. They currently occupy that final play-in position. The Brooklyn Nets aren't really making a push. The Raptors all of a sudden are making a push. I don't want that spot, by the way. I prefer the Raptors kind of trended downwards, but somebody has to finish 10th. It might be the Hawks. It might be the Raptors. It might be
You
the
guys,
Nets. It might be somebody else.
last night probably played one of the best games of the season. So
Yeah, comfortably.
yeah.
Outstanding both ends of the court for the Raptors yesterday. I don't know what is going on with this team right now, but something is clicking. And yes, a pizza party for the Raptors, finally winning their 3 games in a row for the first time this season. It only took them 58 games to do so. So a little bit embarrassing for the team, I think. But hey, we'll see. We'll see where they go. Again, for me, I kind of prefer to lose these games. Anyways, let's go to the recap of our show today. That will pretty much do it. There's 2 plays plus the bonus big SGP for you guys to tail if you would like. Today, we have Jalen Brunson under 31.5 points from minus 111 odds at Caesars. That is in the Pelicans and Knicks games. We don't get a lot of criticism on the unders anymore. People seem to be coming around to them, which is great to see. The 76ers and Celtics game, we have a minus 115 bet at DraftKings on the SGP for Tobias Harris under 18.5 points and Kristaps Porzingis 15 plus points. Final play is that big SGP. We're going at 3/4 of a unit plus 210 at BetMGM to get John Collins 12 plus points, Colin Sexton 15 plus points, Bogdan Bogdanovic 15 plus points, and DeJounte Murray over 6.5 assists. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching today. Thanks so much, everybody who supported. And hit that like button if you haven't done so already. You stuck around to the end, or you're tailing the picks. Make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Keep up to date. You never know when a big SGP will be out, but it's easier to know with the notification bell hit as well. Me and Pips will be back here. Same time, same place tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.